Hello, God bless you. Welcome again to my channel. I have a special word from the Lord for us today. You see, in life, it is possible to be on a high speed on the wrong route. It is possible to be on a high speed but on the wrong direction. What matters to God, pay attention, is being on the right direction. It's better to be slow on the right direction than to be fast on the wrong direction. As long as you are not in God's plan and purpose for your life, it doesn't matter how prosperous you are, it doesn't matter how successful you are. Matter of fact, let me tell you something. Success can be deceptive. It is possible to be successful doing the wrong thing. I know this will challenge your theology. It is possible to be prosperous doing what God has not called you to do. So just because you are successful doesn't mean you are in the will of God. Just because you are successful or prosperous in something doesn't mean it's God's plan for you. So when I was asking God what to discuss today, He placed this word in my heart for you. It is more important to be slow in God's plan for you than to be fast in the wrong direction. How do you know that you are in God's plan for your life? That's a good question to ask. The Bible said He will keep you in perfect peace, whose mind is focused on Him. He will keep you in perfect peace when your mind is focused and fixed on Him, stayed on Him. So one of the cardinal or major signs that shows that you are in the will of God is that you will have His peace. You have the peace of God. This is a peace that passes all understanding. This is a peace you cannot explain. This is a peace you cannot put in words. You can't even explain. It's shalom, unbroken, nothing missing. So when you have this peace, it doesn't matter how much you have in the bank. You will be happy. You'll be joyful. You'll be in a place of fulfillment because you have something that is much more important than money and material things. If you don't have this peace, you will always try to impress people. You'll be doing things to impress people. You'll be doing things for people for acceptance. For acceptance, you are doing things for people to like you. Why? Because you are not in God's will. You are doing it for the likes. You are doing it for people to cheer you up. So I have this word for us today. It is more important to be slow in God's will than to be fast outside God's will. You are listening to me right now and you know that what you are doing was not commissioned and approved by God. You are wasting your time. I've found myself in the past in relationships that God did not commission. I was trying to make it fast enough. I was trying my hard to hasten it to a point of marriage, but I was in the wrong direction, so God ignored me. So it's possible that you are on the wrong direction, the wrong path, yet you are trying to be fast enough to prove a point that you have arrived. Most of you just want to have something to share on Facebook and on social media to prove to your friends and peers that you have arrived. Listen, when you are in God's will, you have nothing to prove to anybody. When you are in God's will, you don't need any picture to post to prove any point to anybody that, oh, I'm married. You are not competing with anybody. You are not in competition with anybody. And because you are not in competition, you will not compare yourself with other people because you have a different route and a different direction that God has placed you. Those that have this hope, they don't make haste. That's what the Bible said. Those that have this hope in God, you don't make haste because haste is a red flag. It's a big red flag. I want to encourage you. Ask yourself, do I have the peace of God? Am I in God's plan for my life? Am I doing what God has called me to do? Am I in the marriage that God has assigned to me? Most of you are in crisis in your home and in your marriage because you married the wrong person. You made an emotional decision. You made a permanent decision without consulting God. You see, God was speaking to me some years ago and He told me something. He said, Don't make a permanent decision when you are weak. It could be emotional weakness, psychological weakness, physical weakness, any form of weakness. Anytime you are feeble and fatigued or weak, don't make a decision. Wait until you are strong to make that decision. I want to encourage somebody here under the influence of my voice. It is possible that you are doing the wrong thing and you are successful in it, and you think it's the will of God for you. Just because you are successful doesn't mean you have the blessing of God. There are men in the Bible who were successful without the blessing of God. It is the blessing of God that makes rich and has no sorrow with it. If you don't have the blessing of God, the end result is sorrow and pain and crisis. And we have seen people who rose to a great height and they crashed down because the blessing is not there. All right? It's important for you to be divinely guided. It's better to be slow on the right direction than to be fast on the wrong direction. This is wisdom. God bless you.